Well, finally, Nashville didn't get its moniker Guitar Town by accident. Just about everybody's got a guitar in Nashville. And it stands to reason that the city would have a store that houses some of the most valuable guitars in the world. Now, it all evolved out of one man's passion for precious and rare stringed instruments. Beethoven once described the guitar as a miniature orchestra. And while versions have existed since ancient times, the modern form evolved in the 18th and 19th centuries. Today, it's a mainstay in every form of music, from jazz to blues, from rock to, of course, Nashville country. When it comes to finding the rarest, most prized collectible guitars in the country, the search ends here on Lower Broadway. Since 1970, Gruhn Guitars has become a mecca for collectors around the world who not only like the sound of a classic old guitar, they consider them works of art. In some cases, very valuable works of art.
There are instruments that when we started out opening this shop sold for a few $100s, like $400 that today could be worth $50,000.
George Gruhn has earned a reputation as perhaps the foremost expert on vintage guitars, and his list of customers reads like a who's who of famous players. His lifelong obsession with classic stringed instruments began as a hobby back in the mid-60s.
I truly like fretted instruments. Guitars, banjos, and mandolins for me are a passion, and I did not start this company to make money. It was a hobby, which back when I started in 1963, as far as starting to collect, there was no money in it.
You can bet there's money in it today, with some vintage pieces selling for six figures.
To me, they're the ultimate pieces of art because with, for example, a painting, you can look at it, but you don't touch it, you don't feel it, smell it, taste it, whatever, you just look at it. Now, a piece of sculpture you could look at and you can touch if they let you. With the guitar, obviously, you see it, you touch it, you can hear it.
Here's an unmistakable piece of guitar art, a Martin handcrafted back in the 1850s.
C.F. Martin came to the USA from Markneukirchen in Germany in 1833, and this is one of his earliest guitars. It has a label that has the earliest address, 196 Hudson Street in New York, a paper label inside. It has a spruce top, abalone and pearl inlay, ivory bindings, wood herringbone trim, genuine ivory fingerboard.
What makes a guitar valuable? Well, there's a lot more to it than just age.
But what makes a guitar good is good design, good craftsmanship, both structural and cosmetic, and good materials. But when you put it all together with great materials, great craftsmanship, beautiful ornamentation, superb design, you've really got something.
And what's the guitar guru's personal vintage favorite?
It's a Gibson L5 model made in the year 1928. It has beautifully figured maple back, sides, and neck. This is one of the few that has original banjo-style tuners on it.
Of course, a guitar can grow in value because of who owned it and played it.
But this is a model D35 that happened to be owned by Johnny Cash. And
that doesn't hurt the value, I guess.
No, in fact, it's got his name scrawled right there, Johnny Cash, which he typically did on his guitars. It's kind of...
Does it make you cringe to see that?
It does. It's gouged in there, not very elegantly, but other guitars of his that I've had, indeed, were gouged out just like that, Johnny Cash.
Well, since time can take its toll even on vintage guitars, Gruhn's workshop is busy with craftsmen carefully restoring classics for customers or for resale here in the store.
Pristine original still brings the most money. Beautiful restorations are better than an unrestored instrument. And bad repairs greatly devalue instruments.
Even with his vast knowledge and insight, George Gruhn has sold guitars he wishes he had back today because of their phenomenal value. So how can you predict the top collectibles of the future? Well, the name of that tune is It Ain't Easy.
40 to 60 years of age is when I see my customers really going gung-ho into collecting. So if you want to know what's going to be valuable, say 20 years from now, look at what today's 20-year-olds really aspire to but can't afford. When they have their midlife crisis at age 40, they will have the money, and that's what they will want.
Of course, a mint condition Martin from the mid-1930s is a safe bet to increase in value, along with countless other classics. Guitar treasures that have individual personalities, artistic merit, and sounds that beckon to be heard.
And these things really have soul. It's very much as though they're alive. They are truly superb musical instruments that were designed to fill a function, and they do it supremely well.